friends. Welcome to Lean and Clean with Fitness Chef Christine. I am Christine, your host. And today I am honored to have Nicole with us. And she is all about leadership. So she is going to talk to us about what she does with women. It's really fantastic. Please, Nicole, take it away. Tell us all about what you do.
I am the founder and CEO. That stands for Chief Enjoyment Officer
I
at
love it.
Organizations by Design. And we develop leadership courses and help leaders with their teams. But to be an entrepreneur, you have to be in
Crazy.
a really good mental, you have to be a, what did you say?
Crazy. You have to be crazy. And I can
Yes,
say that
you
because I'm an
do. Yes, you do. It's just relentless.
It
It's
is.
very exciting. You get to follow your passion, but oh my goodness, there's never any end to all the things that you need to do. And for that reason, you really need to stay mentally and emotionally and physically really fit. So, like yesterday morning at the beginning of my day, I was out cross country skiing for 2 hours. Then I came in and did a personal weight workout because I need to get out there and get those endorphins going.
Same. I started my day with a 6:30 a.m. dumbbell workout, but I don't have any snow. I have good weather here. I'm at 70 degrees right now, so no cross country skiing for me. But I remember those days. Where are you? Where are you located?
I'm up in northern Alberta and it is spring, and technically the snow should be melting, but we did get a little dump. Us skiers, we're like hip hooray, we get to go ski today, so we're odd that way too.
You're brave. I
Um,
call that brave, not odd. That's brave. I don't
yeah,
get cold.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think being really fit in all those areas is really important. And being able to manage that stress, whether it's good stress, positive stress, or whether it's heavy negative stress, just getting out there, making time for yourself, breaking up your days. One of the things that I really love is a program that we do called Make More Time. And in that program, we talk about really being able to make time in our day. But that's really about finding some things that balance the work, right? Getting out and having that lunch with a friend, getting out and walking the dog, getting out and cross country skiing, just getting off the grid, having plans for a dinner party because it's something to look forward to at the end of a long day. So being able to intersperse some of that stuff into your days, especially if they're long days, is a really healthy strategy.
Absolutely. I think that really helps reset the brain and actually gets those creative juices flowing. If it's all work and tunnel vision, it's just not healthy. And you're right. You need that balance. You need that work-life balance. And so many entrepreneur ladies that I know, they're all in business and then they forget they have a life. And so I love that you're doing that. I love that you're helping them find the time. I always say we all have the same 24 hours in a day. So we all have time for ourselves. It's whether we prioritize ourselves or not. And
Hmm.
sometimes entrepreneurial women or heads down work. So I like that
Yeah.
you do that.
And one of the other things I think that we end up doing, particularly as women leaders, whether we're working in organizations or working in our own businesses, is we have this tendency to have that self-doubt sometimes, get stuck sometimes, or we get all going and then somehow we get pulled back down. And so I got really curious about what's going on there. Why is this happening only to us? And so I did this great course out of California, and I developed my own course called the Women's Leadership Series, Unleash Your Inner Power.
Love
And
that.
this is, yeah. And we did our inaugural class, 10 sessions. It was amazing, transformational, great testimonials. The women just loved it. And now we're doing a certification program for trainers of that program because one of the participants said, I want this program to go viral. I want every woman to be able to experience this. So I'm really excited about that. And we do some really deep work in that program.
That's amazing. Congratulations. I love that success. So I know that you have a website where people can find you. Do you only do group or do you do one-on-one training as well?
I do team coaching, which is a bit of an unusual thing. I love it. I get together with the leadership teams at regular intervals and everybody gets the benefit of the coaching and the learning.
I like it.
But yes, I do VIP one-on-one leadership training. And you can find that information on the website.
Perfect. And I'm going to share the website for listeners. I'm going to share the website in the show notes. So be sure to look for that. So let's talk a little bit about the team. Now, the team are the people that you're certifying. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I have my own team. We're a globally dispersed team with people in the UK and in the Philippines and some of them local. And the certification, the facilitation for the Women's Leadership Series is a group of women leaders, powerful women leaders,
Mhm.
and they are going to come together to experience that same series that the inaugural class did. Really powerful sessions like how do we deal with politics in the workplace? How do we deal with those paradoxes that we still have to get through as women? How do we really break through those self-limiting beliefs, what I call the inner glass ceiling? How do we integrate more feminine power qualities into our leadership? And so they're really coming from everywhere, Chris. They're like, there's early education EDs, there's people from the not-for-profit sector, there's one of the big VPs from TELUS, our communications companies, joining us online. Yeah, so it's a real mixed group of women, and that's really great because when we're in this program, it's not just me, it's not the sage on the stage. I'm really creating that container where as women, we can learn because women need to learn in that environment and we can benefit from everybody's wisdom. So the conversations are just amazing.
I love that. And so I belong to a group. It's a whole group. It's called Do the Thing. And as a subset of that, there is something called Find Your Story. I would love to have you be a part of that because you have a great story. You're doing wonderful work. And so it's a big collaboration group. I think there's maybe, I don't know, 4,000 people in there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big group. And then there's another group that's a couple hundred people. It's a subset of that group, but we're all really active. And so most of the women and the men are entrepreneurs. And what you're talking about are things that everybody struggles with. So you might have an actual new audience to listen to what you're saying because woo, we all work on these things all the time. And so then there's little breakout sessions, like I said, find your story, where there's a producer and he has come in and challenged us all to really find our story. For instance, what's been the biggest influence on your life? What is your limiting belief? What is your struggle? And what have you lived through that still haunts you today? That question, I listened to everybody's answers. I was crying my eyes out. It was crazy powerful. And so what you do would tie in wonderfully with what all the collaboration groups do. So I'm going to send you an invite to that because I think you're really magical and I think you would really bring a lot to the table over there. So if you don't
Thank
mind,
you.
I'll send you
I'll
that in.
watch for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's a great group of women and men who are all, and there's all level people that are just starting their entrepreneurship and people that have been in this space for a long time, people that own big companies, there's movie producers, there's every kind of person in there, but it's such a fun group.
And you know what I love about just that title, like finding your story? Our story is really our gift to the world, right? Once we can figure out really what we're all about, that's really at the center of what we all do. Chris, what you do and what I
Absolutely.
do. And if you can find that passion and you're lucky enough to be able to do a podcast like this or to do the heart work that I do in helping leaders to really be able to learn how to manage their people, but not just manage their people, how to bring diverse people together and how to learn together and how to support them and value them so that they say, hip, hip, hooray, I get to come to work today. That's
Yeah,
why my title
makes a
is
world of
Chief
difference.
Enjoyment Officer, right? I'm not the typical CEO because too many people, 1 in 4 Americans hate their jobs. 1 in 2 are looking for work right now. Industry spent $223 billion in the last 5 years, according to a huge report by the Society for Human Resource Management on turnover, right? It's it being able to find your story and find your passion, be able to connect with a team or an organization or to do your own thing is it's just wonderful when that can happen.
And
Yeah.
I love the work that you're doing because I think women bring We have great empathy and we have great energy, and we bring something to the table that no offense to men, I have a lot of males that I work with, but you're right, that feminine energy is different and it's wonderful and unique. And I think too many times we all get caught up in the fact that we get the imposter syndrome, where we think maybe we're not good enough to do this, or maybe we're not as qualified as we should be. That's just that inner witch talking to us, telling us,
It is a thing that we have, but I've also learned I really want, just for the record, to say that I believe that all leaders, regardless of their gender, need to begin to infuse and integrate feminine power qualities, not just women,
yeah,
because I'm telling you, Chris, I've worked for some women that have absolutely zero of those feminine qualities. You want to talk
yeah,
about witches? Yeah, that's
I've
what
worked with
they
them
are.
too.
And I've worked for men. I worked for a man not once, but twice, who taught me a lot about those feminine power qualities. And so I think we have to be careful about the gender thing. Don't you have men in your life that just have so many of those feminine qualities and you just love them
Yeah,
because they're just right? So it's not a gender specific thing. For
absolutely.
me, it's about a balance, right? If there's too much masculine, and whether that's in a male leadership role or a female leadership role, it doesn't allow you to do the things like you said, collaborate, have empathy, be able to use your intuition sometimes just instead of your head, to be relational. And so all of those qualities, they can come through in your leadership, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. Now, having said that, your point about the imposter syndrome and the point about how we struggle as women, that unfortunately belongs to us as a gender. And that inner glass ceiling, as I call it, those self-limiting beliefs and those self-limiting beliefs that I know are tied to a shame based identity that happened at a significant point in our lives are what we work through and break through and get over with once and for all in that women's leadership series. And there's no boys allowed in there. Why? Because, like I said, women need to learn in a safe environment. If men want me to do the women's leadership for them series, I'll do it, but they're not coming to join the ladies because we need that space.
I like it. I like it. So tell me, how long is the series? Like how many sessions are they? Are they live? Are they online or both?
Oh my goodness, there's 10 modules.
Mhm.
They're 3 hours each. And I know your listeners are going to say, oh my God, I can't stay online for 3 hours. Well, let me tell you, by the end of the 3 hours, they're begging for more. They're like, no, it's not time to go. I'm like, yes, ladies, we're going to get together next week. No, it's a highly interactive, highly engaging, and very informative sessions. The inaugural class, and I know this next group of facilitators, they just eat it up. It's just such good stuff. Unlike watching paint dry on some webcasts that you know,
I've been
or
there.
webinars you watch, I've figured out a way. And part of that comes from the time. I've invested 25 years as a leadership researcher. I've invested a lot of money in my own training. And when I build programs like that, I put in anywhere between 80 to 100 hours
Mhm.
really making it work so that it is engaging and interactive. And yeah, I figured this out.
Well,
COVID
clearly you
forced us
have.
to do this. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. And
Yeah.
are the sessions ongoing, or do you do them and stop, do them and stop?
Typically, we do a spring run and a fall run.
Okay.
I stay away from the Christmas vacation and stay away from the summer vacation because I want people to be out there on the water, taking their vacation, having that rest. Yeah, so
When is the next
yep.
session?
Actually, the Women's Leadership Facilitation Certification session, we are having an info session this Thursday, March 20th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I can send you the Zoom link for that, and anyone that wants to come and find out what that's about. And you, Chris, this is a free women's certification program. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I want this women's leadership program to become an epidemic. I want every woman to be able to have this experience. And I can't do that myself. I need
Right.
a whole army of you. So anybody that wants to come and join the women that do the facilitation training will co-facilitate a session with me in their networks, and then they're off to the races. Then they can go and deliver it. So we really want to get that ripple effect, and I just want to share this with as many people as we can possibly touch. So come on out.
I love
Yeah,
how heart-centered that is. It's beautiful. All right, you send me the link and I will pop it in the show notes and I will share it to the Wealth Experiment group that I'm with and the Find Your Voice community and all that good stuff. So yeah, we'll get the word out for sure, for sure.
it was absolutely wonderful to spend time with you. I'm so
Oh,
grateful that you allowed me to be your guest today, and I hope this won't be the last time that we connect or have a
absolutely not. I'll have
conversation.
you back. We'll have a little after your next leadership round. Let me know and we'll catch up. And I'd love to hear how everybody does in their training for certification and all that good stuff. So keep in touch because
I will.
I'm all about just seeing women blossom. I think it's amazing. I think what you're
Me
doing
too.
is fantastic. So
Yes.
let's keep in touch. And I really thank you for making the time for me today. And I thank the listeners for being with us. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. Please hit that like button. Leave us some comments. I will make sure Nicole reads your comments. And I wish you all a blessed day. Thank you again, Nicole, for being with us.